Hey, welcome to the channel. Sorry for my voice. So you've reached Two Guys Take on Real Estate, the Auction Masters YouTube channel. This is our new channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And this is where we talk only foreclosure auctions. We try to give you all the different, ins and outs of all the foreclosure auctions. And we've bought hundreds of property at foreclosure auction. And today I just wanted to kind of talk about what I'm seeing as far as like the market industry for foreclosures. Let's get to it. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you're in a different market right now, we are mostly focusing in Connecticut and Massachusetts for foreclosure auctions. And I'm actually walking in one right now that we're renovating. Oh, wow. They opened it all up. That's nice. So basically we are in Massachusetts and Connecticut. So it's a judicial state, which is Connecticut, and a non-judicial state, which is Massachusetts. And that's where we buy 95% of our foreclosure auctions. We have bought some stuff in Vermont, which is also similar to Massachusetts. So what are we seeing right now in the market for foreclosures? Now, I don't really look at industry standards. I will check out once in a while. Atom, ATTOM, they put out, you can buy the report and stuff like that, or you can get this kind of synopsis for free. I do look at that, and I'm definitely they're saying that they are seeing a national trend of increasing foreclosures, but I really don't pay too much attention to that because, well, real estate is very market specific, and so we really try to focus on and just kind of share what we're seeing in our markets. And I'm definitely love to hear if you're in a different market, leave a comment below and let me know what you're seeing. If you go to for any kind of foreclosure auctions, stuff like that, I'd love to know what state you're in, stuff like that. Love to hear that kind of stuff. So what I'm seeing now, let's just start with Connecticut. So Connecticut is, like I said, a judicial state, and they have auctions once a week. They are on Saturday at noon, right across the street, all across the state. For the last few years, there was a massive decrease in foreclosure auctions. So just kind of giving an idea, all right, we were seeing before, in the last couple of years, maybe 10 to 12 auctions actually going through on, and during COVID, it was like one or two. But the last couple of years, it's been about 10 to 12. We're consistently seeing now about 30 to 35 auctions actually happening on Saturdays. And unfortunately, we got to basically pick one or two. Back before 2019, 2018, 2017, stuff like that, we were seeing probably around 50 to 55 auctions per week that would go to fruition, and then one or two might get canceled or postponed or something like that. So we're getting close back to, I would say, pre-2019 amount of auctions happening in Connecticut. Now, a lot of them still, though, what I'm finding is the numbers are still kind of high, so the banks aren't letting them go as low as they were prior to 2019. I'm not sure if the banks are definitely seeing a higher appraisals and stuff like that. They might be thinking, hey, we can take them back and then we can resell them. I'm not sure exactly what their thoughts are. I don't know that. I'm just kind of speculating. But we're definitely seeing an increase in actual foreclosure auctions that actually go to auction. I would say like a year or two ago, I was seeing more auctions being posted, but then they get postponed, and then they get postponed, and they get canceled, they get postponed. And we were still kind of trending around, like I said, 10 to 12 because so many got postponed. Just last week, I ran the foreclosure auction sheet and I saw, so look at this is, I just want to keep up, this is right now, it's October 14th of 2025. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. So last weekend, I saw there was about 55 auctions that went on, that were posted, but then basically about 32 actually went into, had an auction on last Saturday. Okay, now going and talking more about Massachusetts. So Massachusetts, it's a non-judicial state, so it doesn't have to go through the court systems to get publicized. They have all this other criteria to handle, and if you want to know any more of that, we talked about some of that in our other videos, so make sure you check all the videos we got here, or check out our book, Foreclosures Unlocked. It's on Amazon. Get a copy, leave a comment, or leave a review. We'd appreciate it. So Massachusetts, the auctions happen all across the state. They're actually, majority of them are at the property. They happen basically Monday through Friday. I think I've seen some as early as 7:30, but really 8 o'clock till like 5 o'clock or 4:30 or something like that. It's generally anywhere between there. So we have our VA create the list from all the different auctioneer sites. We check also on the newspaper, stuff like that. Kind of put this all together, make sure we get all that information, and then we kind of put this in the spreadsheet. So we're constantly, basically tracking and seeing these. What we've been seeing is prior to 2019, we were easily having in our area, by the way, not all across Massachusetts, because I'm not tracking the whole state. I don't have time for that. I'm just focusing on more of the western part of Massachusetts and a few other states in Worcester County. But most of Berkshire County, which even then some of them we don't even go to. We don't really care about some state, some cities, but mostly Franklin, Hampshire, and a little in Worcester County and parts of Berkshire County, mostly southern and central Berkshire County. What we've done here is we've basically put those tracking those auctions, and prior to 2019, we were easily having 50 to 60 auctions that actually happened per week. We were running around like crazy. We had a runner. I was running around. Kevin would have to jump in. We had another person jump in. It was always like there was 2 or 3 at a time consistently. It was a lot of running around. I put a lot of miles on my car, but a lot of them we were getting. I mean, maybe once again there were so many. We were consistently getting at one point, maybe 7 to 10 a month. It was great, and great prices too, because typically at foreclosure auction you're going to get a much better price. And once again, we're a number of persons, so we only buy stuff that made sense to us. So after obviously COVID, it was maybe one, if that. For the most part, they all got canceled, postponed, and then I would say even about a year ago we were seeing maybe like 30 that were getting kind of actually get scheduled. But then it would really come down to maybe like 5 or 6 that would actually go to auction. Well, that's changing. We are definitely seeing an increase. We are seeing an increase roughly, I would say now we're seeing about 12 to 15 auctions that actually happen in our area per week. So it's definitely increasing. We are seeing some banks actually, kind of giving back. And I've noticed the biggest trend I've noticed though, other than increase in foreclosure, is increase of actually auctions happening. Is what I've noticed is that we've also seen a lot of newer mortgages. There's so many mortgages from 2020, 22, 23, even from 24 that are now getting foreclosed. So a lot of them often are these newer mortgages. There still are some older mortgages. I mean, just that one from 2010 just earlier today, but a lot of them are happening. And then I'm also seeing a lot more hard money lenders foreclosing. So there's a lot of people who got short-term debt that are getting foreclosed on. So a lot of investor property too that are getting foreclosed. So these are big trends that I'm seeing right now. I'll keep trying to update you once in a while. I'm not going to do this every week, but as far as a kind of a market update, but I will get some more of these out there. If this is something you like, definitely leave a comment below and let me know if this is helpful. And let me know what you're seeing in your market, and appreciate it, guys. So make sure you, if you haven't yet, subscribe and like this, and so it tells YouTube and stuff like that this is great content. Thanks a lot, guys.